Hello everyone and welcome to the first module, the ultimate why. Before we deal with the scientific side of things, we just need to quickly go into some deeper things. Why? Why are you sitting here? Why do you want to do thrive? And what does it mean to do thrive? What does it even mean to thrive? Before I chose a name for this course, I asked myself, what do I want to teach people? And I searched for it and it came out, you want to teach people to thrive. And I thought that is such a nice name, to thrive. But what does thriving even mean? I believe thriving is different for everyone. But in a nutshell, it means 5 things. To be healthy and to have energy. Number 2, to grow, to learn, adapt, and improve. Number 3, to have great relationships because you connect deeply with your loved ones. Number 4, to feel like you have purpose. And number 5, to make a difference, to make an impact. But thriving doesn't just mean to chase big goals and to have constant happiness. It is also about finding contentment and balance in the season that you are in. So that brings us to the ultimate why in your current season. I believe we are all here to do the same purpose in different ways, and that is to serve and to make a difference in the lives of others. There is a quote that states, if people don't change positively in my presence, then I am not needed. And again, everyone goes through different seasons because I believe it is shaping you, your character, and your faith for the next season and creating a mentor or a friend for someone who might still go through that season. So whether you are here to set a foundation for your children or to make a difference in the lives of your family, your friends, your clients, your employees, you are here because someone is really going to need you or your knowledge or your love or your advice to shape their lives. Think about a child or a teenager. Everything your parents does is weird and you don't understand the stress and the feelings until that one day you become a parent yourself and you go, oh wow, this is how my mom felt. This is what my dad was thinking. So if you are a mom, raising a daughter can be challenging, but one day will come and she will benefit from your scars. But if you focus on being the best version of yourself through every season, amazing or difficult, she will too, because that is what she was taught. Children are sponges, and sometimes we don't understand why they do certain things that they do. And especially in the early stages of life, almost 90% from that they learn from parents, which means you did it and you are teaching her to do it or him to do it. So if you are healthy and thriving, what a blessing are you handing over to your child, and that these habits were created in the early stages before entering the world where the wild things are. And by wild things, I mean emotions, reality, forgiveness, seasons, hormones, relationships, health, etc. And I believe people are everyone's purpose. And sometimes we are not sure if we are living out our calling or our purpose because we are linking it to something we call work and what we do. And that is not necessarily our calling because we need to live out our purpose everywhere. What if you thought being a pro sportsman was your calling and you lose your legs? Now your calling and your purpose ends because you can't perform what you had thought it was. Therefore, it is so important to make sure you have what it takes to thrive anywhere and everywhere. Because if you are thriving, you have more capacity to live out your purpose and your calling in every season, good or bad. And sometimes our calling changes, our purpose changes. It could be different in different seasons. So I want you to go and make a list of the 5 most important people in your life who you believe you need to be there for, and why. Why do you need to be there for them? What will happen if you are absent in their lives? For example, this could be your children, your spouse, maybe friends, clients, employees, maybe you're a business owner and you have to work so that your employees can earn a salary and look after their families. Now your why has shifted, not only to yourself, but also for others. But in order to be there and be the ultimate server, you need to be the ultimate you, because you can't give out energy from a depleted, non-fulfilled you. I want you to take the 5 things it takes to thrive and tick next to them if you are meeting the criteria or not. Am I healthy? And do I have energy? Am I growing? Am I learning, adapting, and improving? Do I have great relationships because I connect deeply with my loved ones? Do I know my purpose or calling in life or in this season? And am I making an impact? Am I making a difference where I need to and where I can? You know exactly what you can improve on and why, and it is now time to set goals, because on tough days, when motivation fades, you will remember the deeper why and have a stronger commitment. In the book Atomic Habits, you might have read that most people don't reach their goals because they focus so hard on the ultimate goal and not on the systems it takes to actually reach their goals. But before we look at these systems I want to teach you about, let's take a look at how to set goals. Remember the number 1 rule. Goals have to be realistic and specific. You can't lose 10 kilograms in 1 week without a super strong dose of Ozempic, but even then you would have to starve yourself, and that is not sustainable. Let's look at some common health goals. For some of you, it might be weight loss, it might be muscle gain, energy and stamina, maybe you want to have balanced hormones, or maybe just an improved mental health. You chose some goals now. Please write them into your worksheet, and then we're going to start working on them. If your goal was weight loss, it is realistic to lose 500 grams of fat per week. Now we have to calculate. I want to lose 10 kilograms, and you have to divide it by 500 grams, which will give you 20 weeks. A realistic and specific goal is I want to lose 10 kilograms in 20 weeks. That is your formula. You can always work on that. It is healthy and your weight will stay off. An eating plan, meaning less sugar or less protein. If your goal is to balance your hormones and you consistently followed a healthy eating plan, meaning also less sugar or processed foods and more greens, plus you had good systems in place overall, like your quality of sleep was good, you had less stress or you managed it well, and you were active during the weeks, you would improve in 2 weeks' time. If you said, for instance, by month 2 or 3, I would like leptin and ghrelin, which is the hunger and the fullness hormones, to improve. Also by month 2 or 3, I would like my thyroid hormones to improve. Then that is realistic. If you said, okay, adrenal health, reproductive health, metabolic balance, I want to improve on that, it would take 6 months plus. But that we will cover in a later module. Building muscle, also not a 2-month goal, it can take much longer. So as you can see, goals need to be realistic and specific. And then also, you need to ask yourself, what will my life look like if I achieve this specific goal? But how do we assess what we did and what our focus must be on to achieve these goals? Because I can't just say to myself, I need to lose 10 kilograms. We have to make changes to something I call, like I said, the systems in our lives to get different results to what we have now. Because we cannot carry on doing the same thing and expect different results. We have to change things to get different results. I want to teach you the 5 systems I work on. So number 1 is moving or training. Number 2 is nutrition. A lot of the modules will be dealing with the nutrition side of things. Mental, sleep, stress relief, and relaxation. We will be working on these systems separately, and we are starting to physically work on making these systems habits in your life But I want you to have an open mind that it will take some time for this to become normal and daily habits in your life. And therefore, I want you to prepare your mind not to be disappointed if there are days that don't go as planned, because life happens. But if you can imprint 2 sayings for me in your brain in the next 12 weeks, you will win. Number 1, 80% 20% rule. If 80% of the time I can stick to what I'm doing and be consistent, I will win. The 20% deviation, you will always have that. Number 2, step by step, or just do the reps, rep by rep, one at a time, 1% each day. If you improved 1% each day, where will you be in 3 months' time? Where will you be in a year's time? If you don't improve 1% each day, where will you be in a year's time? Now that you also know your goal and you're going to start working on your systems, but where must you start? Are you at a beginner level? Are you at an intermediate level or at expert level when it comes to all these different systems? For instance, let's do number 1, moving or training. I want to start resistance training. I want to do it 3 days a week. But have you done something before? No, nothing. Are you sedentary? Yes. Okay, no. Then you are at beginner level. And you will need to only start walking 20 to 30 minutes, 3 times per week, and we can build up from there. Okay, number 2, let's take nutrition. I want to follow a strict eating plan. I want to eat protein and veg. Okay, are you currently eating sweets every day? Are you currently eating processed foods? Yes. Okay. First, cut out the sweets and the processed foods for a week or 2, and we can build from there. Now you can go through each system and determine where you are at and what changes you would need to make that's realistic and applicable. Not starting at the right level is definitely setting yourself up for failure. Okay, this is it for today. I want you to go fill in all the questions and make sure that you thoroughly have gone through all the questions for me today so that we can build on them. I hope today was insightful and that you have come to realistic terms when it comes to your ultimate why, goals, and what systems you have in place and what you need to work on. Have a lovely day.